Hey Tony, yeah, I was watching the World Cup here, and Argentina doing the job here on Croatia today. So Croatia's really got their work cut out for them.
They do, and they almost pushed in a third one. There was some very close to calls there, looking sharp again early on. Let's see if Argentina can hold a 2-0 lead. They had trouble with that in their quarterfinal match. They gave up two goals late, and they actually had the guts to win that one in penalty kicks, and that was a big. They had to win the game twice, as they say. So they're trying to get a third one here. Almost got another one. So Argentina's moving. Actually, that was Croatia there that was attacking. Croatia here on the attack. Keep an eye on the counterattack here for Argentina because they can counterattack very well and score. As right now, Croatia is pretty much all out in the final 30 minutes of this game to tie this one up. But we're going to the college hoops tonight here as Houston here will be battling NCAA and North Carolina A&T. As expected, Houston a big favorite. Total sets 128.
Yeah, Tony, this will be part of the HBCU roundball coaches versus racism event. There'll be three games that are being played between Division One teams and division between HBCU teams and other opponents. So there'll be this game. They'll also have Prairie View versus Montana as one of the games as well. And I don't recall the other, but there's three games I think this weekend in this little event. They're at home courts, but wearing the moniker "Coaches versus Racism," and again, just a great title that should bring awareness. Doesn't need to be a tournament or anything. Just want to certainly announce that that is the name of the event. I think that's very important. So NCAA moved to the Colonial this year, Tony. So a little bit of a step up for them, and these two teams are looking to get back on the court for different reasons, right? Houston's coming off that loss to Alabama. That was a real tough one. Against the Crimson Tide, the way that one unfolded, you saw Coach Sampson kind of lighting into his players a little bit. They definitely folded a little bit down the stretch, so they'll be looking to get back. They're big favorites here. We all know that they should have no problem with A&T, but for A&T, it's our first. Why not take a couple of weeks off and then return back to action against the Houston Cougars? That doesn't sound like a very promising situation for them. They haven't played since November 30th, and they're going to come back and take on Houston here. They're 4-4 so far this season, 2-3 to the under. Houston 9-1, 2-8 to the under following that loss to the Crimson Tide. You see the Cougars here favored by 31.5, total 128. Houston probably still the best defensive team in the country. Their numbers might not bore out the number one team, but when you're talking about a team that's second in adjusted defensive efficiency and second in defensive effective field goal percentage, they should have no problem taking care of A&T. So it's just where the game is going to land when it comes to this total, right? Houston, they've scored 80 points in 5 of their 10 games. You'd think they would have it their way, certainly against A&T, but their way is the slow way for the most part. A&T, on the other hand, they have an okay set of players. I mean, their best player is probably a JC transfer, Cam Woods. He scored 23 points. A&T won that last game back on November 30th, 73-56 against Greensboro. So that was a nice victory for them. But they shoot just 47% from the field, 31% from three. That's not going to be too great when you got a Houston team that limits opponents to under 40% from the field and 23.5% from three-point range. Houston's also the top shot blocking team in the nation. They've got Jawan Roberts, who is a great shot blocker. So for A&T, they're 262nd in length of possession, while Houston, we know how slow they are. They're 325th in length of possession, 351st in adjusted tempo. So they still certainly like to take it slow. Now, they could probably go faster in this game if they wanted to, especially the fact that A&T doesn't necessarily defensively limit teams to a slow tempo. But for example, they played Iowa, but we know Iowa can move the ball a little bit, and they got caught up in a game that went up for like 180 points. They lost, I think, I don't know, 110-73, something crazy. Iowa blitzed A&T, but against Iowa State, they lost just 80-43. And yes, Houston's better than Iowa State, but you would think because of the type of team that Iowa State is, we'll still look for the score to end up around that type of range. If Houston is averaging around 75 points a game and allowing 50 points a game, well, you want to say the score of this game could be something around. They're probably going to score more than 75, but I don't know. It could be something. It could be crazy, Tony. I mean, it could be 75-45 here. It could be 80-40 in this one if they blow them out. So that's the way I'm kind of seeing this game. A&T prefers the three ball. They're scoring almost 40% of their points from beyond the arc. But again, they're talking about they're 267th in adjusted offensive efficiency. So, they're not exactly going to be able to play anything up tempo. Houston's not going to care about that. And I think there's going to be a sporting attitude toward this game because of the nature of the event as well. Houston's inviting A&T in here. They'll certainly get an easy, a confident victory. It almost seems impossible for them not to win this game, but I don't know necessarily if it'll occur by margin. It may fall somewhere right along the number, I would imagine. So, Jamal Sheed, Marcus Sasser, great players. Sasser actually struggled. It might have been, his downfall a little bit in that game against Alabama, just 2 of 11 from the field in that game. So he'll look to step it up, but I think Houston will play a very sporting game against A&T. So that's where I look for the score probably to come in, Tony. 75-45, 78-42, something around there. So I'm looking to go under 128 tonight. Not a lot of margin for error here. Can't put it necessarily in the premiums, but I think the tempo itself certainly lends to the under here rather than a little bit higher scoring in this game. I mean, not sure A&T is going to get anywhere close to 50 points in this one against Houston, Tony.
All right, we got Ramon here going under here. North Carolina A&T and Houston under 128. Although we are seeing the market move up, this one up a little higher. 132 is pretty much at the low right now. You will see this one in some places, I believe, here at 129, maybe even 130. When I last checked it just a few minutes ago, once we went on the air, I was looking at it. But there seems some movement upward. I think what the main concerning here with the bettors in this one is the fact that you look at the North Carolina A&T defensively, average possession length against them about 16 seconds. Teams score fast on them. I think that's the one thing that kind of stood out here with this North Carolina A&T team. The Aggies, horrible defensive team. They don't force any turnovers, so teams shoot very easily inside against them. So I think they're seeing this that, wow, look at this average possession length for opponents against them because their defense has been so poor.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, if Houston wants to get up and down the floor, I guess they could. But I mean, again, you're coming a Houston team coming off a loss. You're going to have, I believe, Sampson looking to clamp down defensively and run the game as Houston likes to do. No reason to change their tempo necessarily against this opponent because they will win this game handily. So again, what it could end up being, Tony, is you could see Houston certainly with a lead well over 20 points into halftime. And Houston may get the opportunity to play some different players here in this game. I don't mean to keep coming back to the nature of the event, but it's a game that certainly you'll like to get all your players possibly into the game and everything as well, especially a game that they will have well in hand. And remember, I do equate that A&T matchup against a team like Iowa. They did run into a bit of a problem. That game got out of hand. Was a 38, 40-point loss, and Iowa scored well over 100 points. But when they got back into a game with a team like Iowa State, that one went only for 123. So you could see a final very similar to that. Yes, Houston is a far better team than Iowa State, but again, I don't think you're looking at. I don't know. You could, if it does turn out to be a crazy blowout, Tony. I would look for it, to be. Something more along the lines of the fact that AT&T is totally stymied in the game, where you know, if it's a super blowout, I don't think you're going to see, 90 to 50. I think what you'll end up seeing if it's a super blowout would be, 85 to 38 or something ridiculous like that. Uh, so that's what I think will happen in the game.
All right, Ramon here on North Carolina A&T in Houston, under total of 128. This one will have a start time here of 8 Eastern time, and Argentina pushed across another one, 3-0 in the 71st minute. But Argentina's put up a lot of yellow cards. They have to be careful here in this round. You get 2 yellow cards, you are out next game. So we'll see how it rolls the rest of the way. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony's picks for today's action. As we've got NBA on the board here, 5 of them. That's 5 for a Tuesday. Usually there's only 2 or 3, so we got 5 on a Tuesday. We got action from the hockey. We got a lot of college hoops up there. A lot of mid majors in there. Some big boys against some David and Goliath matchups as well. What do you have going over at Tony's picks?
My main focus tonight, Tony, is going to be on college basketball. I got to fix some things. I've been working very hard, and I'm coming with a 5-pack tonight in college basketball, discounted tonight at just $30 over at Tony'sPicks.com. That's where my focus is going to be tonight, trying to find premiums elsewhere, but I really want to fix this college basketball and get it going. You're right. I mean, it's not the most attractive card, but I found some spots today that I like. Mindy and I, we're looking for different games to try to preview today too, because there's not a lot of marquee TV matchups. So you're going to find some smaller matchups with me over there today over at Tony's Picks with that 5-pack of games. So that's my main package tonight. It's going to be a 5-pack for $30 in college basketball. That's my main focus for tonight's card. So the matchups, like I said, there's really no necessarily. We kind of previewed the best games, I think, on the morning steam. Came to a little bit of a consensus on a couple of games over there. Mindy and I, we repackage those, don't forget, and we sell those over at Tony'sPicks.com. Our morning steam consensus plays, which are not only Mindy and I, but also the chat. So we do have those picks also available for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com. So looking to get back on the winning side tonight with this 5-pack of games from college basketball. Good NBA card, no doubt about it. I mean, for 5 games, you're right. There are really 3 top matchups on the card tonight. Formulating through right now, see if I can get something together. But Mindy and I, we did come to an agreement on a couple of games over there. We have those for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com in some packages with the Morning Steam team as well. So don't forget about those as well. We, like I said, we come to a consensus, and we have those picks available on the site as well. And we also did the same thing for NHL. Huge NHL card tonight over there, 12 games tonight, Tony. And we do have some picks for sale with the morning steam. So for me, it's that 5-pack in college basketball. I really want to turn it around right now in college hoops. It's supposed to be my best sport. Everything with high volume, I like, as my best sport. So coming off a rough night, want to turn around, get some winners tonight in college basketball over at Tony's Picks. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20%. You see also there my monthly, weekly, 3-day all sports packages as well. Got my subscribers loaded up with a couple of plays in there. So should be a good night of action over at Tony'sPicks.com.
That's right, that guy. He's got both. Ramon's got over at Tony's Picks. He's got that 5-pack right now going up over at Tony's Picks right now. So get on board with that. Profit guarantee. Must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back in your account. First side credits, that is profit guarantee. Of course, always with Ramon, I always like to show off that leaderboard he has. He's put up an impressive numbers here for this year, as you can see here on the board here. This is the 1-year numbers here for Ramon in NHL, over 3,000 units of profit. We look at NBA, he's sitting at over 1,300. Even the Summer League. The Vegas Summer League hit 700 units. He'll probably be courtside for some of the Summer League this year. College football in the profit here, 634. College football, we have a bowl game on Friday. We have 2 bowl games on Friday. So I misspoke yesterday. They start on Friday, so we're ready to roll here with college football. Also, those baseball regionals. I mean, those of you that were around, a lot of you were with us every day, even baseball season. You know, the regionals, they were all over those totals. They were pounding the bookie there during that period. And MMA showing great profit. Ramon's also in action on those MMA cards. NFL showing a profit. CFL finished a good season there, guys. So get on board with Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks right now, as Ramon is in action, as I said, with that play tonight here, with that college basketball package for you. So you can get on board with that 5-pack. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. Again, you've seen the numbers here, so you can feel confident getting a 1-month all sports pass here for Ramon. Get all of Ramon's premium plays for a month, includes all his college hoops, all NBA, the remainder of college football. So we got the 41 bowl games, as well as the championship game is in play now with that 1-month all sports pass. The remainder of the NFL regular season, we have 4 weeks remaining. That's covered there with that 1-month all sports pass. All the NBA, the peripheral sports, if Ramon's in action with the UFC cards. Occasionally you see some Bellator in there. Occasionally you'll see some World Cup in there. We know we'll have 3 games remaining, semifinal, third place, and finals. So if he's in action there, that's also part of the 1-month all sports pass. If Ramon puts in any late Steam plays with the 1-month pass, you will also get that email directly into your email box. So how that works is Ramon puts in regular member plays. They're all in by 11 a.m. Eastern time, but any play that he puts in the system that starts between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time is flagged as a late Steam on our system, and that play is emailed directly to the email that you provided when you signed in and created the account. So just there, you know, there that late Steam is also included that 1-month pass. You could use the promo code TonyT at checkout, and you'll save 20% off. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link you see in the description. Click the All Campers tab, and then you'll land right here on Ramon's page and just line up there. And of course, scroll down. You'll see it very easily. Ramon's college basketball package for tonight, and to the right is the monthly all sports pass. So a great time to get on board with Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. All right, Ramon, we also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Ramon, and of course that morning steam show. What was on the morning steam today?
Yeah, Tony, got a pick for you on Tony's Picks. Ramon and I is coming to you in college basketball. It'll be in the game between the Phoenix and the Tommies. I know you know who that is, but for those who don't, that's Wisconsin Green Bay at St. Thomas. It's my free pick over at Tony's Picks Ramon. And yeah, we previewed several games over there today on the morning steam. Look, if you want more picks, you can go over there right now and watch our morning show. I mean, the content is still valid, it's still relevant, and still live for all these games tonight. We previewed all the games in the NHL. We previewed the 5 NBA games, and we also took a look at several college basketball games on the show. Also, we came to our consensus plays, and we have those loaded up at Tony'sPicks.com. As I said, when Mindy and I agree on a play with our consensus, we sell the picks over there. Kind of sounds like your place over here right now, Tony. We sell those picks over at Tony'sPicks.com as our consensus plays. College basketball, quite frankly, has been our best sport for those consensus plays. So like I said, Mindy said it great. You know, we get the chat involved with those games. We preview the games, but we flash the comments of the chat on the screen. It's pretty awesome because they're able to have their picks documented to a certain extent. I know we got some things in the works here at Tony's Picks to allow these folks to maybe post their picks and show us how good they are instead of just coming in and wanting to say, hey, you guys are in a slump, or the rest of the chat, your picks are no good. Well, you know what? We're going to give you the chance to prove it eventually over at Tony's Picks. But again, we flash the picks on the screens. Mostly we agree or disagree, and we try to come to a consensus, and that's the whole kind of motive, the theme of the show, really. Can we come to a consensus? So the morning steam, 6 days a week, Fridays through Saturdays through Thursday, Tony, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Pacific on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Mindy and I breaking it down each and every day in the major sports, the ones that we mostly cover here on Tony's Picks.
All right, that's right, guys. Check out Ramon and Mindy on the morning steam at 9 a.m. Eastern time here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel and throughout Twitter as well. Check out Ramon's Twitter account. We put together for him Tony's Pick Ramon to get that college basketball play as well. And I think we can now go blue on all these now, so we'll get the videos up there shortly on some of those on the Capper accounts. Now that I think they've turned that switch on, so check them out there. And of course, make sure like, subscribe, so you're there with them in the morning, and of course post your picks in the chat with Ramon and Mindy as they go game by game on the board. And of course, to those of you who are working, you can listen to the podcast. The show is uploaded to the podcast, so you can listen to it on your drive home from work. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Thanks. See you then, Tony. Thank you.